The previous ship in the Gaza Freedom Flotilla that was supposed to sail to Gaza was shot by Israeli Air Force off the coast of Malta only a couple weeks prior. By the way, Rima Hassan's unlawful detention in Israeli prison also plays a big role in this, at least for the French side of the conversation. The silence of EU institutions over the unlawful detention and punitive conditions imposed on EU citizens, including MEP Rima Hassan, speaks volumes to the deep roots of Israelism in European institutional culture. Rima, French-Palestinian member of the European Parliament and refugee from 1948, now stands before an Israeli court in Al Ramleh. She joined the Madleen flotilla, carrying symbolic aid to Gaza, her second attempt to return to her homeland. Israel offered her deportation and a 100-year ban. She refused to sign. She chose prison over submission. Rima is not just resisting, she's teaching us the true meaning of dignity, steadfastness, and the right of return. You need to understand something here, by the way. Rima Hassan is currently in an Israeli prison. Rima Hassan is not just any person. She is a member of the European Parliament. She is a French national from the France and Unbowed Party, Mélenchon's party, and a fucking, diplomat, okay? She is a member of the European Parliament, and Israel currently has her locked in solitary confinement. Think about how fucking insane that is. She was a part of the Gaza Freedom Flotilla. She was on the ship Madleen. As you guys know, Greta Thunberg left and went back to Sweden. They sent her back to Sweden, and those who refused to sign a piece of paper that basically stated that they were actually trying to illegally enter the country of Israel, because that's not what they were doing, by the way. That's not what they were doing. But Israel wanted them to sign this piece of paper, have been arrested. I'm on the Telegram channel. They took her out of solitary and back to Givon, but Tiago Avila remains in solitary. I don't know if Greta actually signed anything. I'm just simply saying that that's what they were trying to get them to do. And for the record, the boat, Madleen, was not seized, apprehended, or intercepted off of the Israeli coastline. The boat that had the British flag, sailing the British flag, the UK flag, was seized off of the coast of Egypt. So Israel, once again, violated international sovereignty. Israel violated the sovereignty of the UK, and Israel violated the sovereignty of Egypt on international waters off the coastline of Egypt. An act of piracy, an actual kidnapping.
To Charles de Gaulle Airport, where Greta Thunberg is
Here was Greta Thunberg's response after being released.
speaking to reporters. Let's take a listen to
From,
what she has to say.
and being deported from Israel.
Yeah, on international waters, we were illegally attacked and kidnapped by Israel and taken against our will to Israel, where we were detained. And then some of us deported, some are still there. There are very big uncertainties because it was quite chaotic and uncertain. So I don't really know what's going on. I haven't had a phone for many days.
What were the conditions for you over the last few hours?
They were absolutely nothing compared to what people are going through in Palestine, especially Gaza right now. And this is yet another international a violation of international rights, adding to the list of countless of such, especially towards Palestinians, that Israel are committing by blocking and preventing humanitarian aid from entering Gaza. That is illegal.
How did the Israelis treat you We saw them giving out sandwiches on their social media. How did
Yeah, they probably have posted lots of PR stunt videos. As I said, I have not seen anything. But they did an illegal act by kidnapping us on international waters and against our will, bringing us to Israel, keeping us in the bottom of the boat, not letting us getting out and so on. But that is not the real story here. The real story is that there is a genocide going on in Gaza and a systematic starvation following the siege and blockade now, which is leading to food, medicine, water that are desperately needed to get into Gaza is prevented from doing so. But of course, there are many attempts like this mission, both by sea and land, to break that siege and open up a humanitarian corridor.
Could I ask you, did you said you had no contact at all with any of your other colleagues from the boat when you were detained? Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said. I was just mainly speaking. I don't really know what's going on because
You don't know what's going on with the others?
Are you worried
No,
about?
I wasn't able to say goodbye.
Are you worried about the others, that they might be detained for?
Yeah, I'm very worried about them. We heard many different messages pointing towards that they would not make it easy. And there were troubles with being able to see lawyers. So I'm very much calling for their immediate release and calling for everyone who can to mobilize to their governments and other ways to demand their immediate release. And of course to demand not only humanitarian aid being let into Gaza, but also a ceasefire, but most importantly an end to the occupation and an end to the systemic oppression and violence that Palestinians are facing on an everyday basis.
Are you disappointed?
I think it's fucking insane the reaction that Greta creates amongst people who are like not fully on board with the Palestinian emancipatory movement, but simply are like aesthetically defending it, or are fully on board with defending Israel. Like the way that people talk about her is so, it's like alarming. Okay. Yeah. Okay. She was cringe when she was a fucking baby. Okay. Sure. Who gives a shit? Like, I don't understand why people have this kind of insane response. I don't know what it is. It's like a visceral reaction to a child, okay? She was propped up by a lot of liberal institutions when she was an advocate for environmental justice, for climate justice, okay? And I think that calcified resentment towards her by a lot of people, because these guys never stopped talking about her in really gross ways, like fantasizing about her being like violently raped or killed or whatever when she was like 16. Okay? She was like 16 speaking at these conferences, and people would lose their minds. Like I remember vividly Steven Crowder and all these other like conservative commentary people like would make insane rape threats and stuff like that against her. And then she came out as being anti-capitalist a couple of years ago, and the media basically, like liberal institutions, basically stopped covering her altogether or even defending her a little bit when they no longer could use her as an advocate for climate justice but from a liberal framework. And now that she is also openly anti-imperialist, openly anti-Israel, openly pro-Palestinian, pro-Palestine at the age of 22, all of the fucking interest groups and virtually everyone, just like there's so much resentment towards her, even when she does something that's incredibly brave, right? The thing that's so deeply admirable about Greta Thunberg is that she possesses this remarkable ability to make people 3 times her age psychotically, violently mad, and it's largely because of an unwavering commitment to saving this planet and the people on it. Spotted Greta Thunberg on an El Al flight home. Enjoy the service and please do come back. Holy fuck, 300,000 likes on this. Jesus Christ. Like watching Piers Morgan frothing at the mouth, insulting this 22-year-old is an amazing spectacle that lays bare how deeply unstable her adversaries are mentally and morally. You rarely see a 22-year-old driving people into an anger-fueled frenzy like this, only because she was a part of a humanitarian effort to deliver aid to a starving population. Greta Thunberg should thank Israel for intercepting her Gaza selfie ship. Greta Thunberg's pathetic Gaza voyage. Piers Morgan, who now claims to be pro-Palestine, also had some words to say. What is this?
So fucking embarrassing, man. So fucking embarrassing. And yeah, and that's the way it ended up. Is her on a plane ride back home, just like a good girl, back to Sweden. Okay, did you have fun, you know, playing war?
I mean, what do I say to this? We're talking about a dude who's terrified of showers. Okay? Like, we get it, man. You have no convictions whatsoever. All you care about is fucking grifting. Like, so when you see someone who does have real convictions and abides by them and actually follows through on them, it just like breaks your brain. And you just sit around and you're like, yeah, oh, so embarrassing, yeah. Like, she's not being cringe, okay? She's doing something fucking brave. It's more bravery in her fucking pinky than you will ever exhibit for the rest of your goddamn life. I like that every single person that was like, oh, if you love Gaza so much, why don't you go there and get killed by Israel, are now so angry that people are trying to literally go to Gaza. Like, they so quickly switched it up, dude. It's like that video from yesterday when Asmongold was like, yeah, it's the same energy as this, okay? The immediate motorized goalpost shift that we exhibited with the coverage that I was offering in the Los Angeles anti-ICE protests, going from, oh, he's a fake revolutionary, he's not on the streets putting his life on the line. Look.
You see Hassan? No, I don't see Hassan. I heard he was out there. I don't know. I think that I saw an image of it, and I think he's on like the side of the top. So he's not actually going to go down there and stand in the in this area, because if he did, he'd get in trouble. Right? Like, he has no problem LARPing as a revolutionary, but actually putting it on the line, this is going to be very different, which, to be fair, he was. Well, if he was actually doing that, he's in trouble. Like, I mean, for sure. He was, though? Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go and double check. He already did? Oh, I'd have to double see and see it. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think all these people should just get arrested. That's really how I see it. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how like, there's no other solution to it other than that. Aren't they impeding a highway? They are. They're impeding a highway.
They're impeding a highway. They're impeding a highway. They need to be arrested immediately. They're impeding a highway. I enjoy free speech. Like, look how quick that flip happened in real time. Okay? These people are unprincipled. They have no convictions. All they care about is fucking grift. And in the case of Asmongold, he's not a particularly intelligent person anyway, or at least a particularly knowledgeable person about the issues that he speaks on. So it's literally more productive for you to not listen to what he has to say than to actually listen to what he has to say. It's one of those unique instances where, like, not knowing anything is better than knowing whatever the fuck he's putting out.
Okay, that's nice, sweetie. Now go back home and, you know, go back to work or go back to, you know, doing whatever you need to do. And
this is the exact same energy as the video that I just showed you, right? Oh, why don't you go to Gaza? Oh, why don't you go to Gaza? Remember, Asmongold himself also said he would go to Gaza in an effort to, quote unquote, own me. Okay?
we don't want her back? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Palestine doesn't want her either.
Oh, dude. So gross.
Maybe Gaza doesn't want her. Yeah, they're like, yeah, did Gaza consent to having this woman come over here? As far as I know, they didn't. Yeah, I mean, at what point is this not terrorism on their part? Yeah. And how old is she? She's like 14? No, she's probably like, what, 21, 22 at this point? So fucking embarrassing, man.
Yeah, so embarrassing. Definitely. What she did is embarrassing. Also, again, Protest was held at Gaza's port to condemn the Israeli occupation forces' raid on the Madlene ship and the abduction of international activists who were sailing to break the siege on Gaza. Not only that, but also the idea that this is like simply a silly stunt and not incredibly consequential is idiotic, because Israel has previously killed people that have done this. Okay? In 2010, Israel drop-shipped commandos into the Mavi Marmara ship that also tried to offer humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip. Okay? That's number one. Number two, the previous ship in the Gaza Freedom Flotilla that was supposed to sail to Gaza was shot by Israeli Air Force off the coast of Malta only a couple weeks prior. Okay? Only a couple weeks prior, before Greta and Rima Hassan and all of these other activists, humanitarian advocates, took on this journey. The ship a couple weeks prior was shot by the Israeli government off the coast of Malta, that is thousands of miles away from the Israeli coastline. So what Greta Thunberg was doing was literally putting her life on the line. It is incredibly brave. You don't have to like her I don't know, behavior in the past or whatever. It doesn't matter. Right now, what she is doing is braver than what anyone else could ever do.